I'm also excited with the ability of AI to integrate even more into our lives by taking off a lot of mental load. And then, all the commitments that you have, and having AI assistants that can help you take off that mental load and decrease some of the stress that I think women often disproportionately bear is huge. It's huge. So I'm very excited by that.
I'm Riley Reese. This is the Sofia Unfiltered podcast where we bring together thought leaders, wellness entrepreneurs, makers, and emerging health leaders. We're here to have raw, unfiltered conversations because sharing your stories has the power to change lives, help others heal, and transform the way we take care of ourselves. Here we go. Welcome back to Sofia Unfiltered, everyone, the podcast where raw conversations spark real change. Today, we're exploring what happens when smart tech meets smarter self care, especially during midlife. Because let's face it, this phase of life can come with a few surprises, from changing hormones to shifting energy to stubborn weight that just won't budge. It's a lot. But what if we could tap into AI driven insights to actually personalize our path forward? And that's exactly today's guest is doing. Dr. Onyx is a board certified lifestyle medicine physician, certified in obesity management and menopause, and also happens to be a certified nutrition coach and personal trainer. Oh, and also she's using AI to translate cutting edge data science into tools that help people live better, not just longer. Dr. Onyx, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah. For our listeners who may not know, do you want to give them a little bit of overview about what it is that you're doing? These were very big words that we use. And I know AI can seem like abstract to a lot of people still.
Yes. Again, thanks for having me. And like you're right, AI can be abstract to a lot of people, even at this time, because it's new and we're still really understanding the power that can get from AI. But one of the most important things that we understand from the advances in AI is that we can personalize. And the power of AI tools that we have now is that we can use that to look at thousands of data points and synthesize them into very, very specific recommendations that are for the particular person. And that's what we're talking about when we talk about using AI to personalize medicine and recommendations.
Yeah, I just have so many questions around that. This is so interesting. And so, do you want to tell our listeners a little bit about why you got into this specific niche? I know that there was a personal story behind this as well. Is that right?
Yeah, so I just started off in clinical medicine and then in pharmaceuticals, and then I started a couple of startups, and one of them is Casa de Sante, which is a gut health brand, which I started because one of my siblings had IBS and then found the difficulty of getting low FODMAP foods, and that's when I sort of went down the rabbit hole of gut health. And one of the things that you find out when you get into gut health is how different the experiences of everybody is and how personalized each approach has to be. And so, and that's really how I got interested in using AI to give us the opportunity to personalize recommendations based on each person's specific biome, genome, phenotype, phenome, and give more actionable and specific recommendations for people to get relief.
Yeah, and it's such a powerful mix, right? Especially with you having your lifestyle medicine background, right? And then bringing in AI, we have this cold feeling around AI. So, how do you actually use it in a way that feels helpful? Like, how are you actually bringing in these tools? What does this look like?
So what do we do in my practice is that we get the information. We have a questionnaire, an in-depth questionnaire with the patients and the clients, and also lab tests were available, and which we feed into our specially trained AI models. And these can put together all these data points and come up with specific personalized plans for each person, and which we can then follow up with the patient or the client about. And this is really something that is ongoing. So, if, for example, we're doing a weight loss with the patient, we would want to, for example, tailor exercise differently depending on what opportunities the person has for exercise during the day. So, for example, if you work in an office and you have to go into the office, we recommend some exercises, which could be completely different from somebody who's working from home and has opportunity during the day, maybe to take a walk. So these are just little things that are personalized based on your lifestyle and also what do you like to eat. So if we're recommending making nutrition recommendations, it's easier if you start off from what the person is already eating, and that way it just makes it easier for you to fit it into your lifestyle, adhere to the recommendations, and make the changes that you need and get the results that you want.
Yeah, that's really fascinating. So, say somebody is in their 40s or 50s. They're constantly tired, gaining weight, right? They're overwhelmed with it. How does AI, let's put it this way, what and where can AI driven insights help you make the biggest difference?
Yeah, so that's sort of a pretty common scenario, right? A lot of people, well, especially women, as they get into their 40s, 50s, they're getting into perimenopause and they start feeling more fatigued. I know because I went through it. And so you're trying to figure out, and what happens in that instance is that there could be many reasons, right? And so what AI can do for us in that case is, so you could have some specific recommendations based on what the lab results are. Maybe the results are not optimal. Maybe you don't find anything wrong, which often happens. There might be no lab issues or whatever, and maybe it's more like a lifestyle thing, or maybe you just want to optimize it. So you can look at the person's like lifestyle in detail and say, okay, well, we'll feed it into the AI and say how there are things that you could do in your lifestyle to optimize your fatigue, to optimize your energy levels and prevent fatigue. So maybe you're not drinking enough water during the day, and maybe you need to optimize your sleep schedule. Maybe we need to come up with some sort of meditation or a script to help you to sleep at night. So things like that. These are all the things that AI could help with. So something like fatigue can be very hard to figure out, and even with some of the best tools that we have today, it's still hard to understand how to treat. But layering AI can give us more personalized insights that can make it easier for us to relieve something like that for a lot of people, and that's what we find with our patients.
Yeah, that's incredible. Some of these are, very insidious, right? Like they're very hidden. It takes years to figure out what's going on, and so I feel like this is just a really interesting use of AI. Now you mentioned perimenopause and menopause earlier. So menopause still feels like in women's health in general feels like the Wild West, right? When it comes to personalized care. Is AI, do you think, going to help close the gap for women around these big topics?
Absolutely, absolutely. So menopause and perimenopause is, I think is a time of change for women on many levels, not just physiologically, but also psychologically. So we see AI helping in many ways, not just in terms of helping people live the best lives that they can health-wise, in terms of recommendation, in terms of coaching. We also see it helping in some of the services that we offer in terms of just making life easier for women at this stage. So we offer services that that leverage AI to quickly get answers and get tasks done for you during the day.
Yeah, that's anything to help women, right? I mean, I think some people don't even find out they're in perimenopause until way after the fact. They just have these random symptoms. They're not even tying that and piecing that together until, you look back and you're like, oh, that was perimenopause. That's what's going on.
A lot of women find out, they find out their memory maybe is not as good as it used to be, and their hair is thinning, they're sort of in a fog, there's this fatigue comes out of nowhere. It's difficult to lose weight all of a sudden. And so you have all these things that can, if I went into detail on many levels, be relieved by AI assistance, from the difficulty to losing weight to the memory issues to the just having questions about so many things that where AI can really help to make that phase of life a lot less stressful and smoother for so many women.
Now, are you seeing a lot of commonalities when it comes to input, or is this all personalized across the board so much? Are you seeing any big topics or subjects that the AI model is telling everybody, right? Oh, drink more water, meditate, get more exercise. We know lifestyle medicine has these 6 pillars. Are you seeing any fascinating results, even though it's personalized? Are you seeing some big topics that come out that could be strategies to share with our listeners?
Sure, sure. Yeah, there are definitely strategies which are general strategies which are tweaked for everybody. But absolutely, I would say that for most women to make sure that they're stepping up, they're getting enough exercise. 30 to 60 minutes of exercise a day. Lifting weights 3 to 4 times a week. I find that sometimes you're very busy and it's hard to do that. So I would, for instance, I wear weighted pants, and I sometimes wear a weighted vest for a few hours. And it's something you can wear under your clothes and just, for a few hours a day. I've found like I've lost pounds just doing that. Also gotten rid of, tightening my thighs. It's really incredible. The other thing I find is the diet. Making sure you're eating a healthy diet is something that is, and healthy can mean different things to different people. Maybe you need a diet that is optimizing your hormones depending on what your hormone status is at that time. But or an anti-inflammatory diet. But food is a huge part of how you feel about yourself. So making sure that you're getting the best diet that you need at that time is critical. Hydration is also important for everybody. I find as one gets older, just making sure you're getting enough electrolyte, especially since a lot of older people you're taking also some medications that are messing around with your electrolytes. So I would recommend making sure maybe like an electrolyte drink, a tablet in your water or something like that. Just making sure you've got enough water every day and making sure you get enough sleep. So many people have bad sleep hygiene habits. So, getting off the electronic screens within like an hour before bed, meditations, maybe some like headspace, calm to make sure that you get enough sleep. Those are some of the broad pillars that I think that I'm seeing out there.
Yeah, those are great, and those seem like great lifestyle changes to implement to, you know, prevent, any issues as well coming up, right? Maintaining sleep hygiene and good nutrition and movement. Those are huge.
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people know that, but it's just implementing it. And the thing about using something like AI is that you can have, for example, a AI chatbot every day just checks in to make sure, okay, have you done this, that you're supposed to do today, and keeps you on track.
Yeah, everybody needs that accountability piece, right?
That's the one thing, because in general, most people know what they should be doing, but how to really put it in practice is really the devil in the details.
Yeah, right, absolutely. So the future of personalized wellness, right? So what is something that gets you excited about the future of care?
Oh, yeah, yeah, I'm extremely excited in terms of everybody having something that is tailored very specifically to them. I'm also excited with the ability of AI to integrate even more into our lives by taking off a lot of mental load. And then, all the commitments that you have, and having AI assistants that can help you take off that mental load and decrease some of the stress that I think women often disproportionately bear is huge. It's huge. So I'm very excited by that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a new mom, so it's the
Boy,
the weight is just through the roof. It's a lot for women in particular, so I'm so glad you brought that up.
it really is. It ages women a lot. And I think the other thing about it is because you're so busy taking care of everybody apart from yourself, you tend to just ignore a lot of problems and ignore your health.
Absolutely, there's no time to schedule for yourself. And Dr. Onyx, thank you so much for being here. This was such a great conversation. This integration of AI and personalized medicine and how we can better take care of ourselves. This is super exciting territory. But a question that we ask all of our guests on the show, if you could share three fundamental pillars that contribute to your well-being.
Oh, that's a good one. So the first that I would share is getting good sleep. That is crucial for me to feel my best. I find in days that I don't get good sleep, I say, what percentage of myself is actually here? So if I don't get good sleep, I'm like maybe 60, 70, 80%. So getting good sleep, critical. The second thing I would say is taking time to take care of yourself. So that's something that I just, started implementing more recently. But just making sure that you are taking care of yourself, making that time to take care of yourself and your body in whatever way that is that you need to. So yeah, so just taking care of it, putting that time aside to take care of yourself is really important. And the third thing I would say is good nutrition, healthy food. to nourish yourself, not skipping meals and not eating like haphazardly, being like mindful and intentional when you eat and making sure that you're eating things that are going to serve a purpose and not just, like junk, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
So sleep, self-care, and good nutrition. Yeah.
nutrition, yeah.
Yeah, those are great. Um, can you tell our listeners where they can connect with you if they want to get in touch or find out more information or sign up for your program?
Sure, sure. So I'm at Dr. Onyx, uh, MD PhD. .com. That's where you can find my program. And I'm also on Instagram at Dr. Onyx, MD PhD.
Okay, awesome. And we'll drop them all in the show notes for everybody as well. But thank you so much for being here and sharing your insights and showing us how, AI is not this cold tool and showing how physicians and we ourselves as the client patient can integrate these tools and take better care of ourselves.
Absolutely. And I'm starting a program whereby where we're gonna provide tools for everybody, just helping people to understand how to use AI in their daily life and make their lives easier. It's actually mostly I'm actually starting it off for physician moms. It's useful for anybody who is very busy and looking for ways to alleviate stress in their lives. And it's free. It's a free weekly newsletter.
All about sharing resources. We'll definitely include it. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks again for having me. It was fantastic.
Thanks so much for listening. This has been Sofia Unfiltered, a podcast by Sophia Health, the #1 marketplace for health and wellness. Find services, classes, and products from the top health and wellness providers. Book an appointment or join live classes now. I'm your host, Riley Reese. If this episode resonated with you, we'd love to hear about it in the comments section of your favorite podcast provider or with a 5-star rating. Let us know what your biggest takeaway from this episode was, or share it with someone you hope to inspire. Join us again next time for more real conversations, stories, and insights that help empower you with the knowledge and inspiration needed to transform how we care for ourselves.